resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Good evening. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. This is your host, D Squared, with
Brian Held.
Brian Held, how the hell are you, buddy?
I am fantastic, and you know why?
Why? Tell me.
Because we're pre-recording this show. We're actually just on our way back from MobyCon in Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, probably so, and I'm probably nursing one hellacious hangover.
Yeah.
It is going to be a long marathon weekend of entertainment and debauchery.
Yeah, and we're only halfway through. Last weekend we were at Southern Geek Fest. We're going to be at MobyCon this weekend, and of course we're going to be at NOLA Time Fest.
NOLA Time Fest at the Jefferson Orleans off of Edenborn and Vets.
Yeah.
Going back to their roots, damn it.
Absolutely. So
that's where you and I first met.
It is.
No, it's not. We met in the barroom brawl, but that's a different story for a different show.
That is.
So, all right, Brian, let's lay out the show today.
All right, well, guys, we're going to be doing Top Nerd News here in a minute. A lot of great stuff to talk about. Then we're going to extend that into our second segment. We have an update from Scungy that we're just going to give you. He's not coming on tonight.
Thank God.
And no. But he is preparing so much stuff. When I talked to him on the phone, yeah, he's got a lot of crazy stuff. He's going to have
a stew, a chili. What?
Well, he's got an E3 update that's going to be coming soon. That's huge news.
Oh, well, that is.
Exactly. And there's some VR stuff in there, so we're excited, but that'll be a week or two out.
Okay.
Then we have an interview from Don Teams that we picked up over at Southern Geek Fest.
And he was from The Walking Dead.
Yes. And then after that, we're going to be doing This Week in Geek History.
Yeah, and I think we're even going to throw in some oldies but goodies like this, the word of the day, and then read a mother bleeping book.
Yeah,
and
book
then,
of the month, yeah.
As always, we'll close out the show like we always do with This Week in Geek History. So without much further ado, let's get into top nerd news.
And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world. Brought to you by Kasha's Bazaar. Find them at 5727 Jefferson Highway. And now, our top nerd news stories.
All right, Brian. So I guess topping us off is definitely going to be the new Spiderman Homecoming trailer that dropped. And that's coming out in July 17th?
That sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That is correct.
Yep.
Yeah. Is it? I don't know anymore. Open up your damn phone and find out.
I'm looking.
It is because, we wanted to talk a little bit about not just the trailer, but the posters that came out. Because apparently people really are beginning to think that this isn't, Spider-Man Homecoming, that this is Tony Stark with the, Spider-Man just in tow.
You were close. July 7th.
Oh, 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, July 7th is also the premiere of another show on Netflix, Castlevania.
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
We'll get there. Okay. So, the new Spider-Man trailer dropped, and actually, they dropped two of them, and one of them was actually an international one. And that's the one I really like because it gave us more on the depth and who he's going to be fighting, the Vulture.
So I have a concern.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Well, I almost think that they've released too much at this point.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when I saw, what was the movie that came out? Guardians of the Galaxy. When I saw that, all of the real funny stuff that you saw from the trailer, in my perspective, fell flat during the movie because I'd kind of already seen it. Yeah. And
probably because they kept playing the trailer so much on TV, unlike Wonder Woman, where they're not giving anything away.
Right. So, which comes out while we're at MobyCon.
It does?
Or no, I'm sorry.
The week after.
The week after, yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm a little worried because there's a lot of meat to these two trailers.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. And the other thing though too is we didn't get our hug in Guardians of the Galaxy. They showed that in the trailer.
Yeah.
With Drax and Star-Lord hugging it out, and of course Tony Stark and Spidey. They supposedly have a little hug, but he's like, "No, I'm not hugging you. I'm opening the door for you."
Right.
We're not there yet. So here's a little bit of information for Spidey and Vulture.
Someone is collecting stuff from Avengers battles and building these crazy weapons.
The rich and the powerful
They don't care about us. We have to pick up after them. We have to eat their table scraps.
These alien bastards are tough. You gotta use the stuff they use. The world's changed.
It's time we change too.
8 years without any trouble from those bozos up in Stark Tower.
Then this little bastard in red tights shows up. And he thinks he can tear down everything I built.
We're gonna put them out of business. We're gonna take everything they got.
I really like how they're using the past movies to build on, where you got all this alien technology from that was the first Avengers movie, huh? I mean, you literally they destroyed downtown, Manhattan, and so of course all the debris left over. I mean, how many did Hulk smash? I mean, those
definitely.
little aliens just crushing them against the wall like they were flies. All that alien technology fell to the ground. And I like how they're picking it up with the Vultures actually grabbing all these, the detritus of the battle.
Or
do you like that word?
Detritus.
Detritus.
It's detritus.
No, look, it's detritus. Don't argue with me. You can't pronounce your own last name.
This is not the subject that we're supposed to be talking about.
Sorry.
But that's been the case throughout the entire MCU. That's what makes the MCU so awesome, is that they're all interconnected.
Wow.
What?
You okay. You had to go there. But no, I was actually just saying that the whole fact that they are, this one in particular really builds a story off of it, though. It's,
right.
Understand, yes, Marvel's, everything's all interconnected and stuff like that.
Well, but
this is a good idea that they're using.
Right.
It's not a running gag like Marvel wants to do.
But we've already seen examples of people picking up technology left over from the Battle of New York, right? That have been used in other ways. I mean, but you're right; they are massively expanding on it as the plot device
always
of this movie.
It's nice to have an explanation as to why Spider-Man is always fighting these people with this amazing technology.
Oh yeah,
I mean, as if like every Bob, Billy, and Harry, knows how to build an arc reactor or a nuclear weapon and or power armor.
Oh yeah, no, it's good, and Michael Keaton as the Vulture is fantastic.
I like that now that he's older. He looks more, haggard, worn.
Well, and of course,
opposed to like the guy from Multiplicity, a chainsaw.
The Vulture in the comics, the
burglars.
The source of the Vulture's character is a very old man. He's like bald,
right?
Crotchety, and so I guess. Michael Keaton can pull off old and crotchety, huh?
So now this is the other thing I like, that they gave us in this movie a little Spidey point of view action shot from the Civil War, where everybody's fighting on the tarmac of the airport. Here, give this a listen.
There's Captain America. There's Iron Man. Whoa, look at that new guy. Who's that? Underoos. That's my cue. I gotta go. I did a fight with Captain America, and I stole his shield and I threw it at him. The hell, he's big now. I gotta go. It was the most amazing thing that's ever happened. So Mr. Stark was like, "Hey, Underoos," and I just sort of flipped in. Hey, just a second. Coming. Hey.
We have thin walls here.
Do you know him too?
Yeah. I stole his shield.
I like how they really have him as almost a kid this time.
Yeah.
Really acting like a kid.
Right.
James Garfield, he sort of acted like a kid, but I never really believed that he was in high school.
Yeah, he had a really hard edge to him and stuff.
He looked a little too angsty to be Spider-Man. This kid is like genuinely excited to be, I'm part of the gang. I'm with you guys.
But he still brings the snark like Spider-Man's supposed to. So.
Right. I know you guys, you're not the Hulk. Hulk gave it away. You're not the Avengers.
I thought it was cool, too. Did you notice in those trailers that Jon Favreau is in it?
Yes, he was the one who said the walls are thin.
I didn't catch that part, but I know
he's in a bathrobe.
He's on the aircraft where they're loading up the weapons. Yeah, he's Happy Hogan. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to be taking away those weapons, or the Vulture's going to be stealing the stuff.
Right.
This song is from Iron Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a good one. So, all right, Brian, when we come back, we're going to start talking Game of Thrones, because that trailer dropped, and that one's coming out.
Sounds good.
I'm excited. Are you excited?
Yes.
Yeah! All right, guys, stay tuned. You are listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
I want to rock right now. I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down. I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock the microphone because I get stupid. I mean outrageous. Stay away from me.
Jezebel Johnston
Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
NOLA Time Fest 5, June 3rd, 12 to 9 p.m. at the Jefferson Orleans North has everything for Doctor Who fans, artists, vendors, games, costume contests, time machines, and more. Saturday night's Chronopalooza 2 features Tuma Nick Cage, some Metry Guy, Futurenauts, and the New Orleans Steamcog Orchestra. NOLA Time Fest 5, June 3rd, 12 to 9 p.m. at the Jefferson Orleans North. Get discounted tickets now at NOLATimefest.com. June 3rd is your appointment with the doctor.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
This is the Week in Geek with D Squared and Brian Held.
Outstanding.
Miss any of today's show? Download the Geek podcast at WRNO.com. Here are your hosts, D Squared and Brian Held.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. This is D Squared with
Brian Held.
Brian Held. All right, man. You know, we need to pick up the pace here a bit, man. This show is obviously pre-recorded, but, you know, we got to stop dragging our feet on it, man. All right, so coming up next now, Game of Thrones, Brian.
I know.
Are you excited? Don't lie to me.
Isn't this the final season?
This is the final season. The 7th season. There's only 7 flipping episodes.
Really?
And it's not going to be enough.
Wow.
Well,
maybe it's time for me to get caught up.
You think? Well, I'll give you a little season 7 primer, as it were, because this new trailer, it's got a lot of moving parts to it, but it's pretty basic stuff, though, because everything is coming to a head. So, I mean, technically, this is what everything has been building to. So if you're going to jump in, I guess this is probably the best time. But, of course, you won't enjoy the journey that we all took with Daenerys Targaryen and Jon Snow and his sexy dead guy self, that the women lost it. They loved them some Jon Snow. Never about the destination, always about the journey, Dave. Okay. I don't know what that means. What's the deal with the White Walkers? They are coming. Winter is coming. All right, so now this first part is a little bit about the Lannisters and our girl Daenerys Targaryen.
Enemies to the east.
This is Cersei talking.
Enemies to the west. Enemies to the south. Enemies to the north. Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat it. We're the last Lannisters. The last ones who count.
I was born to rule the 7 kingdoms. And I will.
Yeah, she will. Well, yeah, won't she? Well, we don't know because George R.R. Martin has yet to finish the goddamn book. But HBO's going to finish it. Well, yeah, they're going to finish the damn series. My question to you is, how many dragons does the Lannisters have? The Lannisters have 0 dragons. Well, then they lost. We don't know that. I mean, come on. Well, here's the thing. So all sorts of things have been going on. The Lannisters, you know, they've basically taken over King's Landing now. They killed, Well, but her son died. She has 0 children left, Cersei
Okay.
Lannister. All her children are dead. And so she's basically put on this black thing and just murdered everyone. I mean, she dropped the temple on everyone's head, killed them all.
Well,
And
I mean,
so-
that's the whole show, right? Sex and murder, right?
Yes, that's why I love it so. I love it. So, but no, so the Lannisters, they're in King's Landing, but now Daenerys Targaryen has finally come to the Seven Kingdoms. She's been stuck over in horse country where, you can't, do any, there's no culture there, Brian. It's like living in Chalmette.
Fair
Sorry
enough.
to our Chalmette listeners. But no, seriously. So now she's landed. She's brought her armies with her, and it's going to be like hell in a cell. Because also, we have our friends up in the north. Jon Snow is up there with all his buddies. So yeah, let's take a listen to this.
Their father and brothers are gone, yet here you stand. Last best hope against the coming storm.
If we don't put aside our enmities and band together, we will die. And then it doesn't matter whose skeleton sits on the Iron Throne. The Great War is here.
Yeah. So in essence, you've got Daenerys who's finally come back to the Seven Kingdoms. She's got the Dothraki army. She's got 3 dragons. And the Lannisters, they pretty much have the entire kingdom with all the Lannister armies. Now, up north, you got Jon Snow,
Right.
and he's pretty much taken the wildlings and all the northern kingdoms, and he's running a defensive thing. He's not really trying to take the Iron Throne. He's really trying to defend the Seven Kingdoms from the horde of White Walkers, a.k.a. zombies. And so there's going to be some crazy stuff going on up north, too, because there's also a rumor that the Horn of Winter will make an appearance. And if the Horn of Winter is blown, the big giant wall made of ice that protects them from the White Walkers.
Then it'll finally get here and we can quit hearing winter's coming?
No, winter's already here now. Winter is coming, and along with spice latte and pumpkin lattes and everything else.
Right.
That makes, yuppie girls swoon. So if the wall falls, well, then, this is the crux of the whole show. At what point are they going to say, all right, screw it, we got to fight the zombie horde that is unkillable unless you've got a little piece of, obsidian rock to stab them with, because you can't kill them with normal weapons. And they're fast-moving zombies,
Nice.
not shamblers. These little bastards run, and they fight, and they carry weapons, and they're smart.
Cool.
That's the problem. So that's what's happening. That's season 7, man.
Yeah.
It is going to be epic and glorious, and it starts July 16th.
Yeah.
July 16th.
Well, hey, while we're talking about fantasy-related shows,
okay,
Netflix dropped a teaser trailer for Castlevania.
Did you play that on the NES?
Yeah, I did.
The little dude with the whip.
Oh, yeah, it was great. I played the original. I didn't play any of the follow-ups.
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody played the originals. Here, take a listen to this.
There is a darkness upon the land. A savior is needed.
Who are you?
The man who'll kill Dracula.
So I like the style of this. It almost it's kind of sort of smacks of anime, which I'm not a big fan of, but it's not exactly like anime.
Well, I mean, the style is anime, but it's going to be a good story, right? I
Well,
mean, it's
we
in
hope
Netflix's
so.
hands. Anything that Netflix puts out right now is gold.
That's
as far
not
as I'm
entirely
concerned.
even remotely true, because they put out a lot of crap. They're from the school of thought, let's throw as much crap on the wall and see what sticks.
They've got a lot of great stuff.
Well,
man.
I mean, their overhead is lower. I mean, most people sign up to be in these things for free because, I mean,
that's a whole different discussion.
I mean, come on, they got Adam Sandler movies coming out the yin yang.
Well, yeah, but that's not movies they made. So that's the difference.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
I don't know, because nobody
regardless,
else is going to go see an Adam Sandler movie anymore.
Our thoughts are with, this is getting a little depressing, but our thoughts are with Zack Snyder and his family.
Oh yeah, man.
He stepped back from the Justice League. His daughter died, of course, That's very sad. And you know, look, there would have been a lot of reasons that I wanted to see him step away as director. This is not it.
Well, duh.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the internet there's been a lot of trolls out there saying a lot of nasty things about this.
That's no big shock there, you know? I mean, and there probably are a whole bunch of Marvel fanboys who are like, you know, ha.
No, don't throw the Marvel DC
you sure?
thing. Yeah, no, no.
All right,
that's
well,
ridiculous.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is that there are people that are just like that. I mean,
What
I was going to say after that was the fact that you've got all these trolls out there talking about how they cast black people in Star Trek. I mean, this thing is still going on.
Yeah,
I mean, it's shocking, really, that I just can't wrap my mind around it that people are getting that bent out of shape about it.
Guys, there's so many better things to focus your energy on than hate and anger.
What about Phantom Dust? What is that all about?
So that was Scungy's one thing his update that he wanted us to give out. Phantom Dust is a game for the Xbox One. It is now free to download.
What?
Not just for the Xbox, but you can play it on PC too. I went on the station computer. I looked it up. It was available for download right there.
You better stop that.
This
is a place of employment, not enjoyment.
Did not download it. It was an Xbox original game. It's single player and multiplayer mode. He and a buddy of his back in the day played the heck out of this game. He loves it, and why not give it a try? It's free.
Yeah. Everybody likes free.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, Brian, so when we come back from this next break, we're going to play an interview we got at Southern Geek Fest with Don Teams.
Yeah.
Isn't he also like a little bit of a DJ a bit? I mean, I think we kind of, snipped that bit out of the interview.
Yeah, he DJs events and parties and things like that, so that's what he does in his off time in between trying to get gigs.
Kind of like Hodor. Hodor spins stacks of wax mounds of sound, all designed to get you down.
Yeah.
Putting some Motown in your town. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, Spider-Man. All right, guys, you are listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. When we get back, Don Teams.
Take a look overhead. Hey there goes the Spider-Man. In the chill of night, at the scene of
New Orleans that never was and never will be. Airships float high above the city, while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
NOLA Time Fest 5, June 3rd, 12 to 9 p.m. at the Jefferson Orleans North has everything for Doctor Who fans, artists, vendors, games, costume contests, time machines, and more. Saturday night's Chronopalooza 2 features Tomb and Nick Cage, some Metry Guy, Futurenauts, and the New Orleans Steamcog Orchestra. NOLA Time Fest 5, June 3rd, 12 to 9 p.m. at the Jefferson Orleans North. Get discounted tickets now at NOLATimefest.com. June 3rd is your appointment with the doctor.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Now, back to the Week in Geek with local celebrity Brian Held, hashtag LCBH. Here are your hosts, local celebrity Brian Held, and that other guy, what's his name again?
Welcome back, New Orleans. You're listening to the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. This is Brian with Don Teams. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Fantastic. So you are one of the many walkers who've been on The Walking Dead. You've been in several seasons of it. Tell me about that experience.
Just fun time, just Halloween year-round on that set. We go out there, get to play in costume, attack a few people, hang out with the cast. So everyone always asks, have you met the cast? They're all cool. Everyone out there is just a bunch of, it's like hanging out with your friends all day long and playing dress up and going, now bite me. We just do it for camera. So, and we get paid, so it's cool. But, working in the Georgia heat, it gets grueling. So it is work. It's fun work, but it is work. So, but yeah, it's been a great experience, the time I've spent on that show.
Cool. How long does it take to get into all that zombie makeup?
About 2.5 hours. It's a prosthetic. Usually our teeth, molds are being put in while we're getting the prosthetic paint and all the airbrush work done. So, about a 2.5 hour process for a full prosthetic face piece. If you're doing body costumes and stuff like we're doing a lot of now, that can go 8-9 hours sometimes. So it gets time consuming, but it helps us get in character. A lot of times, some of us will fall asleep in chair. I've done it. I fell asleep in the chair a couple of times getting painted. But then you wake up and you're a walker. So it helps though. You see yourself in the mirror and you're like, now I can go out there and do my thing. So it's cool.
And are there different sort of classifications of walkers, like more featured stuff, the close-up work, and then background guys?
Yes. When we're featured and do close-up stuff like the biting and the attacking and full prosthetic, that's called a hero walker. So they're more the front walkers. And then you have like a background walker, which is mostly it's less makeup than a featured hero walker. Usually they're either going to be in face paint or a mask at that point, and they're kind of in the background. Cannon fodder, a lot of cannon fodder for bullets and stuff sometimes, and we all rotate in and out of that. We'll go, 1 weekend you'll be a hero walker maybe, and 1 week you could just be doing background stuff. And sometimes some of us, after falling down on rocks and being so bruised up, we kind of relish the laying in the background for a week or so sometimes just to take a break from the kicks. But so it's okay. It's okay. We all adapt to it.
So how do you get into a gig like that? How's the industry in Georgia out there?
I have been doing a lot of movie and TV work for many years. Before even I did The Walking Dead, I lucked into that with a chance encounter with Norman Reedus at another con for the Boondock Saints, because I was a fan of that, and he wasn't getting the crowds that he gets now at that time. So just a great conversation, and he got me the number to casting at at the table, and even called them. Turned out I had worked for them before and other stuff. I wound up working an episode for season 2. When they burned the barn and the RV got lit up. And again, I had not seen the show at all at this point. I worked on that show that night and had not seen one episode. So I was out there flying blind as far as what a walker, how it acts and what it does. So Michael Jackson's Thriller video was my inspiration for being a walker at that point. And I wasn't really big into zombies. They had called me during season 1 to work on it. But they pitched it to me as, just this zombie show. And again, it wasn't into zombies, and I didn't think I was going to be a zombie. I thought I'll be out there and be a body that someone gets killed by. So when I got to be on, and I didn't know Norman Reedus was attached to it. Had they told me that, I went to work just to have that experience with him. But when I finally got to work on the show and go to zombie school, it wasn't until season 3 that I went to zombie school. But and I was used a lot in season 3 and a lot in season 4, especially pretty heavy. And Nick Cotero just likes kicking the crap out of me, so I got a lot of great spots, and a lot of time I got to take stunt guys places because they weren't out of makeup in time. So I was already there in full makeup, so he was just like, you want to do it. And a lot of times my best spots are just based on Nick Cotero going, you want to do it. So it's great.
Where can folks find out more about you, social media, all that kind of stuff?
If you go to Facebook, Don Teamed is my personal profile, and that's where the karaoke debauchery will happen. But if you want to find the Walker stuff, my updates on con appearances, I'll post some on my personal page, but most times it's the Don TWD Zombie Teams with 2 E's on Facebook. You can find that profile and keep track of where I'm at, where I'm going to be. And as far as that, Facebook, I'm on Twitter as well, at DJ Super Don. And that's my main 2 accounts I use for everything.
Cool. All right. Well, where are you going to be next?
Next, I'm not sure. I think in July, so I think it might be Illinois. Dark History in HorrorCon in Illinois. I'm not sure exactly which city anymore. I booked so many things. I don't know what my next, but I think that is my next one. I think it's the last weekend of July. Also, the first weekend of July, I am going to be in Dalton, Georgia, at the C1 Comic Con.
Well, fantastic. Well, Don, thank you so much for taking the time with us, and we'll definitely keep track of you on social media, all right?
Thank you. Thank you.
And now it's time for the word of the day.
Hell, you could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough. It fires me up, man. Look, say it one more time. Shake it back!
The word of the day.
Look, say it one more time. Shake it back!
The word of the day is brought to you by Needed Relief Massage Therapy. Find them on the web at massagetherapykm.com.
The word of the day.
All right, Brian. I'm ready to get edumacated.
I know, yeah. We haven't done this in a little while.
I know, it's been a while.
Do you want me to do the word?
Well, sure.
Ultracrepidarian.
Ultracrepidarian. That word just sounds really cool.
It means noting or pertaining to a person who criticizes, judges, or gives advice outside the area of their expertise.
Well, there's no way that could apply to me because I'm an expert in every field of expertise. That's totally me.
Oh, we lost it when we saw that word. Oh,
so
my God.
I got a feeling that Sunday, right now, as we're listening to this show, I feel like an ultra-decrepidarian because I'm not going to be feeling well.
No, definitely not, man.
But ultra-crepidarian, use it in a sentence. Use it in a bar room. Chicks dig big words. All right.
I'm not touching that.
Check this out, y'all.
Read a book. All right, Brian, we haven't done Book of the Day in a while either, man.
Yeah, so, well, the last time that we did Book of the Month was when we had our very first guest on Arno, Mr. Mike Mayhall, who turned me on to a series, the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson.
Okay.
Now, the original era, the first era of that, is 3 books, so we're just going to talk about all of them real quick. It's The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages. Now, I have probably 2-3 chapters left in this last book, The Hero of Ages. I'm right there at the end, and I just cannot wait. It's such a great story. It's such an epic. It feels like it's a 7-course meal versus just a quick read. I mean, there's so many books that I read that are quick and
like kind of like a one-shot novel,
not even that. Like when you read Jim Butcher, you burn through that book. It's so fast. But this is real meaty. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, much like Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones has a whole lot of things that are happening throughout the world.
Right.
Same thing with this set of books. And one of the things that's interesting that I find a lot of authors have difficulty with is that there's some kind of weird twist that they try to put in to make it unique to them, like this weird fantasy element. And he does that, but he does it well, because a lot of times it misses the mark. You're like, what is that?
So this is a fantasy epic, right? Like sword and sorcery kind of stuff?
Absolutely. And the big heroes, the Allomancers and the Ferochemists that are in, and the hematologists, I mispronounced that. But anyway, those guys are manipulating metal in a certain way throughout the series to give them some sort of supernatural power. But the way they do it, it's really well done.
Like
and
Full Metal Alchemist?
Well, I haven't seen any of that series. I can't speak to it. But the thing is that it plays into the world as a whole, into the very essence of the world that is in these individuals, and it's super cool. I can't wait to finish it, and I think lots of folks will enjoy it.
And this is one of our Penguin.
No. This is one that Mike Mayhall, our original guest, or our first guest on Arno, turned me on to, and I've been listening to it actually in the graphic audio series.
Nice.
Yeah, no, graphic audio, a movie for your mind is their tagline. We just gave them some free advertisement.
Nice.
But I think it's epic. They got the whole soundtrack, Foley board, all that good stuff. It's well done.
Awesome. All right, guys, when we get back, we'll wrap up the show like we always do with This Week in Geek History. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
NOLA Time Fest 5, June 3rd, 12 to 9 p.m. at the Jefferson Orleans North has everything for Doctor Who fans, artists, vendors, games, costume contests, time machines, and more. Saturday night's Chronopalooza 2 features Tuma Nick Cage, some Metry Guy, Futurenauts, and the New Orleans Steamcog Orchestra. NOLA Time Fest 5, June 3rd, 12 to 9 p.m. at the Jefferson Orleans North. Get discounted tickets now at NOLATimefest.com. June 3rd is your appointment with the doctor.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com/shop and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com/shop.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Now, back to the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Yeah, you'll definitely want to tell your enemies.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. This is D Squared with
Brian Held.
All right, man. We're in the home stretch, buckaroo.
Yeah.
You know, as always, you know, we strongly want to urge people to check out our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio, and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to hear your favorite part again, just catch us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. You can also catch us on iTunes, YouTube, the iHeartRadio app, and at WRNO.com.
That is very, very true.
Yeah. And there's also like 50 million podcast apps for the Android that you can catch us on.
You should totally rattle those off. No, I'm kidding. No, please don't. Please don't. All right, you ready to do This Week in Geek History?
Yes, sir.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future! Yes! Oh my God!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, read by Brian Held. Available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Da-na-na, da-na-na.
All right, Dave, you ready?
I'm super ready.
All right, out of the gate, May 22nd, 1980. Namco releases the classic arcade game Pac-Man in Japan.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how much money did they make?
Lots. I mean,
lots.
I don't have a number on here.
Pac-Man fever.
Dude, I still have my record.
Pac-Man. Oh my God, no way. Like on vinyl?
On vinyl, yes.
Holy crap, dude, that's got to be worth some mad cash.
Probably not.
You don't know.
No,
you never
I
know. All I remember, I was talking about this with Doug Holland, our engineer here, talking about just like the old school arcades and like, you know, when Pac-Man first came out, that entire arcades, like entire walls were dedicated to just Pac-Man games. They'd have like 10 Pac-Man units in there, and there'd be a line at each one, quarters up there on the glass. And I mean, you're just waiting to play waiting your turn. I mean, 10 machines were still not enough.
Well, when it came out, it was so different because the only thing at the time were shooters like Asteroids or Pong variants.
Pong, right?
That was pretty much it.
I mean, so that was something that really, I mean, it changed the face of gaming.
It did. All right, you ready for the next one?
Sure.
May 23rd, 1984. You got to guess this one. Directed by Steven Spielberg, featuring Amrish Puri, Jonathan Kikwan, Kate Capshaw, and Harrison Ford.
Kate Capshaw, Harrison Ford. Oh my God! I have no freaking clue.
No Time for Love, Dr. Jones.
No, Temple of Doom?
Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Oh, my God. What was the little kid's name?
Oh, Short Round.
Short Round.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, what was his name?
Oh, Jonathan Key Kwan.
Oh, okay. That should have given it to me, but I don't remember.
Yeah, no, that's why.
No Time for Love, Dr. Jones.
See, I didn't lead with Harrison Ford. I kind of tried to throw you off.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Mm-hmm. All right, next on my list, May 24th, 1972. Magnavox demonstrates the Odyssey, the very first home video game console, and it beat out Pong by 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I played a later edition of the Odyssey. It was so trippy. It was so different, right? Because you remember the Atari 2600,
right? Yeah.
Right, that being that console, and the top of it would kind of look like a vent system.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, for the Odyssey, it looked very similar, but that space, that empty space, actually had a little deal where you can put these transparencies on and interact with it. Press buttons and stuff like that.
Ooh.
Yeah, so you could change the game by changing the transparencies. I thought it was kind of nifty.
Yeah, I don't think I ever actually laid eyes upon one.
Yeah.
But my favorite was in television.
Yeah.
That was the stuff, man. In television, my uncle had it in television. I was just like, yay!
That had the big controller with all the numbers and the
yeah. Had a little dial for Pong and stuff. But I mean, like, it even had like sports, like football. Unlike the Atari, dude, I bought the Atari games for the Xbox now.
Right.
And I sat down playing with my 11-year-old, and he's like, "Jeez, this is what you played back then." I'm like, "This was the height of technology." Up yours, kid.
They did have sports on Atari 2600 though, because I remember.
Well, they had a football. It was like 3 dudes.
I had a hockey game, and there was a contest, and I took a Polaroid of the screen when I got a high score to send in to win the contest. I didn't win though.
Man,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Okay.
No, you're not.
I'm not. Schadenfreude.
Next on my list, May 25th, 1977. Sees the opening of Star Wars 4, A New Hope, changing movies, marketing, and merchandising forever.
Starring Peter Mayhew. So they did, man. I was watching. All right, this is a cool thing on Amazon Prime. They got this. They got so many millions of movies.
Right.
One of them was about the action figures of Star Wars and how it really changed the face of action figures.
Yeah.
And when they first made the movie, they didn't really think that anybody would want the toys. They just didn't know, because like a Planet of the Apes had fallen flat on its face. They made a single run and nobody bought the crap. They bought a few, but not a lot. So with Star Wars, They wanted it out in time for Christmas. They didn't get them ready in time for Christmas. So for Christmas, parents bought a little stand with a cardboard backing with the pictures of the action figures. And as soon as they were made, they would send them to you.
Wow.
So for Christmas, several kids got not the actual action figures, but a stand-up for the figures. Here's your sort of Christmas present, There's nothing to play with. Just put it in your room and lovingly stare at it.
So how much is that cardboard stand-up worth?
Ass tons of cash.
Yeah, probably so.
It's boatloads of cash. But yeah, once they started coming out, then they just couldn't make enough of them. You know what I mean? Jeez, dude. I mean, even the unpackaged ones now at a Comic-Con, they're selling for like $5-10. You know? Good stuff, man.
It is good stuff. All right.
Stupid Katrina destroyed all my stuff.
That's unfortunate.
It is.
All right. Next on my list, May 27th. 1939. DC Comics debuts its second superhero in Detective Comics number 27.
Animal Man.
The superhero is Batman. Yes.
Batman.
Yeah, no, Batman's fantastic. And what was crazy is the early Batman was pretty rough and tumble, man. He killed people.
Yeah. Didn't he even have a gun too?
He ran around with a gun.
Yeah. Well, I Flashpoint Paradox. I always come back to this DC cartoon, man. They actually had a Batman was actually, instead of it being Bruce Wayne, it was his father. And, he watched his son get killed, and Bruce Wayne's Martha Wayne turned into the Joker because her mind snapped, and he was running around with a gun shooting people, killing everybody. It was awesome.
That's great. Sounds like a good story.
It is. All right, what's next?
May 28th, 1987. Now, let me set this one up, all right? CompuServe releases the graphics interchange format.
standard as a new format to save and retrieve computer-based images, and thereby starting a vicious debate on whether it's pronounced GIF or GIF.
It's GIF.
It is GIF,
Yeah.
but the creator of this standard calls it GIF. He says GIF is the correct pronunciation.
Well, somebody needs to punch him in the face. Then why do you use a G?
Exactly.
Jackass. I mean, come on. Good Lord, man. Well, we only got 60 seconds left, Brian.
All right, birthdays. Zombie Survival Guide, World War Z author Max Brooks.
Oh, man, that dude is awesome.
Yeah, Drew Carey. Jim Broadbent, who played Horace Slughorn in Harry Potter.
Nice.
Ian McKellen. Gandalf.
Oh, yeah,
Magneto,
right.
Yeah. Helena Bonham Carter.
I hate her.
Well, you know.
I really don't like her.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have to like everybody. And lastly, Paul Bettany, the Vision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Jarvis.
Apparently, I'm supposed to like everybody. That's what they tell me. That's why I got into radio, because I hate people. I don't want to be around them.
Guys, we're going to be at NOLA Time Fest next week. So definitely stop by the Jefferson Orleans North, right off of Edenborn and Vets, and say hi.
Absolutely. All right. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Something strange in your neighborhood.